Hi, so I'm back to do the second video of the two. This isn't like a continuation, it's actually bits and pieces from the last one, or at least like filmed at the same time as that content for the most part. But these are the bits and pieces that pertain more directly to the short film I was working on. So if you watched my last unintentional-style ASMR video, then you know what I'm talking about, that there are some clips there that I cut off, or I cut out bits and pieces. I keep saying bits and pieces. Hello, sleepyheads. Oh, I think my finger was covering the microphone. Hello, sleepyheads. Welcome back. If you watched my last unintentional-style ASMR video, then you were expecting this. I said that in the last one I explained that a lot of the clips I was going to show, and did show, they were partial clips, and I was saving bits and pieces from all those segments that talked about a short film on which I worked throughout October. I mean, much before October. Like, there was a long lead up, a lot of pre-production, but I was away and really busy, like focusing solely on that this past October, like the month before this one. I had filmed a lot more than I was able to put in one video, one hour or 1 hour-ish video. So I cut it out and set it aside, and it all focuses much more on that project. Let's do a filter change, because this one adds blush, and I don't really need help in that department most days. Okay, got some sparkles, got some nose contour. Good. So this video, it jumps around a bit because I'd recorded some of the segments ahead of the first weekend of filming, and then filmed that first weekend, and then confusingly had like a week in between, and then had like a makeup test for a completely different, like a makeup look that hadn't been used on camera yet, so we were able to still do that aspect of pre-production even though we'd already started filming. So that's confusing, and I don't really like give context. In fact, there are a few bits that I think I'm going to use that I didn't film for this video for my ASMR channel, but were actually part of my correspondence during pre-production. Like, I was showing something and talking about it, sending it to someone on the team, and after the fact looked back at it and was like, oh, I spoke very softly in that video, maybe I'll use it for my ASMR channel. I think actually that only happens once, but I have done that before because these are supposed to be unintentional. Some of them are legitimately unintentional. It very rarely, like most of these I created, like I manufactured for this video, but I think in the past I've been talking about my fiddle leaf fig plant, and they were actually like clips that I sent to my partner. But again, by and large, that hasn't been the case. Most of the time I'm doing this on purpose, because most of the time I don't talk like this in real life. But I guess like very occasionally, like if I'm trying, like maybe if I'm sending someone a video like late and I'm trying to not be like disruptive, or I'm trying to be like calming or cutesy or something, I don't know, sometimes I have that like affect, but generally I don't. So most of the content that I just create for fun in my life is completely unusable for this purpose because I'm just too loud. But yeah, the point is that, oh, you can see the sun. The point is that this is going to jump around a good amount because a lot of the clips, those clips especially, like when I didn't intend to put it in this video, I don't give them a lot of context. I don't give them any context because they're in the context of, existing ongoing conversations. So like it's mutually understood. So sourcing clips like that is tricky because again, like I'm just dropping them in here, but I think you can generally get the idea of like what's going on, what I'm talking about, and yeah, especially if you watch the last video, because you will have seen a lot of the clips leading into clips in this video. I keep saying clips, but you get what I mean, I hope. And maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe you don't care either way. Maybe that's not the point for you. You're just here to, try to relax a little bit. But in case you are trying to follow along, I just wanted to give a disclaimer. I always have to give a disclaimer of some kind. There's always something about which I need to feel anxious, apologetic, okay? It's a must. So hopefully now all our bases are covered. You, whether or not, regardless of whether you've seen the preceding unintentional-style video, either way, hopefully you now know what's going on. And if and when in the course of this video you don't know what's going on, at least you know what's going on in terms of why you don't know what's going on. Yeah. Oh, and for the record, I do have content I'm getting ready to put out without filters, not so choppy, just the old-fashioned you, me, in front of the camera. Well, not you, but you, me, a camera, a ramble, that sort of thing. So bear with me for a little more of this content if it's not your cup of tea, if it's not your style, if you don't like the artifice, if you don't like the soft speaking, if you don't like the lo-fi, if you don't like the what else? Don't like the jumping around, and you don't like also like maybe you hate when it's called unintentional, when it's not like truly unintentional. Just bear with me a little bit more, and yeah, more for that soon. So let's go back in time to when I was feeling a different category of anxieties, when I was getting ready for this short film, and it was getting closer, and it was all I could think about. And let's take a look at those clips. And then, this is just my DSLR case. So, I mean, not a particularly good or safe one, not a protective one, and then these were just for fun. I am aggregating, that's the other thing, I am aggregating supplies for a short film that I'm producing, and I've been getting things together for it for a few weeks now, I guess a few months or so, trying to source products, in the event that I'll have to do my own makeup, and it's really looking like that's going to be the case. And I'm not going to have lash extensions for the film. It's actually important that I've lost it again. Okay, I'll be right back. It's actually important that I don't have lash extensions. So I've been trying a bunch of falsies for one of the makeup looks, and then these I just couldn't resist. What on earth? I'm trying to get excited about the possibilities, creatively, expressively, visually, whatever, with lashes and nails, because I haven't had nails in almost 2 months, and lashes in, I guess, a month and a half. No, I guess it's been about a month and a half for both. And I think it'll be a while again before I have either, before I pay professionally for either. So trying to experiment and have fun and have it be a positive thing instead of a source of insecurity. And so I'm taking some of the money I've saved, because even with all these purchases, I still have ended up saving a lot the last few weeks. So okay, so the last couple things to show you. So I've never dyed my hair. I'm a natural redhead. A few years ago, like 3 years ago, I did a gloss like 3 times, maybe, for 3 different haircuts. I found that it washed out really quickly and like stained my towels and things. And I'm pretty happy with my natural hair color. It does get kind of dull depending on the time of year. Like it gets a lot more coppery, I think. Maybe it depends on like how much sun is hitting it, you know? That's a weird way to put that, but you know what I mean. It changes throughout the year, but it's stayed kind of the same color over the years, which is nice. And it's been fun to experiment, but especially when I was spending a lot on my nails and lashes, it's definitely something maybe I would do to punch up my natural red if I had more money to spend, like more, like lashes covered, nails covered, and extra burning a hole in my pocket. Maybe I would start getting professional glosses again. But so the reason I got this, even though I imagine it'll be even messier and worse quality, like wash out sooner, so the logic doesn't really hold up, but this is for that short film. So there's a character in it, the doppelganger, and she's supposed to be like a version of me, and it's hard to find two redheads with like, you know, the exact same color. She has a really pretty bright, I think a salon red. Like I think she may not be a natural redhead, or she's again maybe like punching it up. But yeah, really pretty red hair, and but not my red, and mine's a duller red for sure, like more of a, I don't know, like that 70s copper, but definitely not as bright. This has been a lot of me just like looking at this box and not a lot of visual interest while I ramble on. But yeah, so I think I may use just a skosh of this to meet her in the middle. It may be easier for me to juice up my red than for her to go more like muted, coppery, like that kind of 70s red. It'd be easier for me to go more toward like the Hayley Williams, not full on, but you know, punch mine up, than for her to, oh gosh, coughing up a storm, than for her to soften hers, if that makes sense. So I got that just in the event of needing to do that, to bridge that gap. Are you tired of this filter? Maybe I should change it out. So this is another thing I got for the project I'm working on. I just needed smaller brushes to do the kind of eye looks I've been what's the word? Pulling as visual references for my character's makeup design. I've been really inspired by a lot of the looks by Savannah, I think her name is. She goes by Beauty by Peach. That's her handle, Beauty by Peach. So I needed smaller brushes. I have small eyes as it is. I mean, I think they may read as kind of big in my face, but when it comes to lashes, when it comes to brushes, without fail, things tend to be a little big for me. So how many are in here? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that looks right. 12. Oh, so now I have to show you another batch of things I got. And I have to show you this as well, actually. So, yeah, more to see. Maybe I'll wait in the morning to do those clips. But I had to buy a bunch of makeup palettes for that character because my director, I was like, whatever eye makeup is, blue, and showed her some reference photos, and she was like, I like those, but I think they feel a little like young, you know, like kind of more of a dull aesthetic. And she was like, yes, green. And it took me a moment to wrap my head around that. And I also just didn't have a lot of green makeup, so I had to buy some palettes that feature lots of different greens, and now I love the idea. So yeah, some inspiration from Beauty by Peach, some inspiration drawn from Henri de Toulouse-Lautrec, Lautrec. I don't know. Tell me how you say his name. Yeah, now I like the idea. Hence the sage green dressing gown. So this is, oh, my elbow cracked. This is for that character. It actually came with a, let me close this. Well, that I'll have to do for now. It actually came with a peignoir that goes underneath, a little slip, same length, but much, skimpier. And then this is the outer layer. But I think we're just going to use this for the character, and I need to go get it tailored. But look at that. Sea green. Wow, my neighbors, they sound so sick, but like they're having an absolute ball. So laughter is the best medicine. So they've got it figured out. Took me a long time to finish that thought. I wanted to ride the snark line, because they are very noisy. They're very noisy, but they're really nice. So, I get frustrated, but also I'm like, they have a sweet friendship. They clearly both live with their best friend. So yeah. And I forget what I was even saying before, but yeah, brand new, very old. While I have you here, let me just real quick. Whoa, sorry, something's in my eye. Ouch. Oh, that's funny, actually. I can show you right now. So this is my hair color before the gloss, and maybe I'll show you. I'm going to test it out tomorrow. Maybe I'll show you tomorrow what it looks like. I need to go to bed. Do you see it's like, it's definitely red, but it's, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not got as much, like that orange tone in it. I don't know, maybe it's brassier? I don't know. You tell me. Right. There it is. Okay, so this is a great filter for dressing up my boring chest of drawers, my tall boy dresser. So, okay, I'm just going to show you two more things tonight. I'm realizing that also another reason that these videos tend to be more like acquisition based. I'm always like bringing out my cool new things, or like even old things, but cool things to show you. I think I'm like home a lot, like we've talked about. I'm not out and about too much. I'm kind of just focused on some longer term goals that are keeping me kind of in holding patterns and in routines. So for these videos where I'm not like in front of you on camera, and the point isn't rambling as much, I mean there's always some rambling involved, but yeah, for these lo-fi kind of clip videos, vignette videos, compilation videos, I think I want to have things to show you. They tend to tip into or default into show and tell territory. So yeah, but that's okay. I like to show you things. I don't want it to be too much about materialism. So let me know if you ever think it's getting a little monotonous. I'm like, look at this, and no, look at this, and look at this, look at this, look at this. Because, there are lots of things that are like oldies but goodies. Like, for example, I'm still not over this amazing vanity table. Oops, someone's coming home. Every day I look at this vanity table and feel deep appreciation for it, but then again, it too was an acquisition I shared with you all in a recent video. So I give up. I don't know. Maybe I'm overly deconstructing myself and my life and my videos and yeah, everything about myself. So yeah, I got these like 3 months ago, I think, and I've never worn them because I'm in such a rut right now with this project. Yeah, I got these collars. Is it a cop-out to just call it a floppy collar? Yeah, it comes to these long, dramatic points that kind of hang down well below your clavicle. And then the one below is much more of a round, much more rounded. Like if you lay it flat, it almost comes to a complete, like a circle. Not really, because there's space for your neck, and then it ties in the front like that. But and then the print is like a Liberty floral, and yeah, nice trim here, and then again some ruffle. So yeah, I'm excited to incorporate these into my fall fashion. Also, it was fun to buy from a small business and get these items in the midst of like a very fun, opportune little sale. So this is makeup that I bought from ColourPop to try to get some greens for the makeup design of one of the main characters. I don't know if I said this already, but she's gonna have a green eye look. Oops, how do I open this? So this is not part of the film makeup. I just wanted to meet the shipping minimum. So this is, it's called Jelly Much and Give the Brute, like champagne, I guess. I don't know. I don't get alcohol references usually. So yeah, this is a gold. Sorry, my nails are so not done right now. That would have mortified me in years past, like even months ago. And I just don't care anymore, okay? I don't have the energy to care. And you're like, good, you never should have, but, tell that to me a few months ago. I'm gonna try and do this one-handed, even though it's inadvisable. Yep, I'm making a mess. Okay. But it's like a jelly texture inside. Can I even show you? Oh my gosh. What a mess. What a mess. Oh, there it is. Wow. What a weird place to do this. Living on the edge. So I already have a little bit on my finger. In the pictures online, it was much more of like, it looked like a little cushion, but maybe it melted a little bit in transit. It's been hot still here and there. Not as hot, but some pretty hot ones, pretty hot days. So, got this from ColourPop, as well as this palette, Let's Roll. Maybe can I show it to you? Just gonna keep making a mess of things. No way to treat a new palette. I apologize. So fun. So this color in particular I had my eyes on, but in general it's a great palette. Yeah, this color and maybe some of those peaches and pinks. Very fun. I made a lot of the palette selections, the makeup selections, on the recommendation of or on the various recommendations of the same makeup artist. There's an issue with these that I'll get into, but oh, okay, and this one wasn't a recommendation, but I was, directed to ColourPop. Like, I have things from my sister from ColourPop, but I probably wouldn't have found my way back to the site if it weren't for that makeup artist's suggestion of this palette. And then just on the hunt for certain greens, for like a variety of greens, so we'd have room to play, I found this. And I think my sister got me a blush from this same collection, or it's not a collaboration because, Tinkerbell's a fictional character, but I guess maybe it's like a Disney collab, but that's better, so I don't risk breaking the palette. Do it somewhere that's already got cushioning. Still running a risk, aren't I? Gosh, what a mess. So, yeah. Can you see me? You can't. So, oops, that's too bright. So yeah, I really wanted this glittery green in the middle, and obviously there's a really lovely green there as well, and a kind of a mossy kind of blue-green there, and then a deeper, lots of greens, I guess. This is almost like a charcoal green. So this was great, and I was looking for a glittery green because that makeup artist uses lots of glitters on the middles of her lids, and the particular palette she recommended, or she used, with kind of an olive glitter color, an olive colored glitter, was sold out. So even though it's not one of the palettes she uses, I'm not looking to like exactly recreate any of her looks. I want us to make it make the characters' makeup our own. So I'm really happy with this palette, this find, and I feel like, oh, look at that, that's pretty on the wings. I kind of get the feeling that this is the one we're most likely to use. It's the one I'd reach for first, just because of all the different options in one handy palette, and the fact that the colors, they already work together. They were conceived of as a group, as a palette, like literally and figuratively, but as like a color scheme. Okay, so now it's time to talk about, I'll make that nicer in a moment, I promise. It's time to talk about these palettes. So this is, can you tell they're empty? I just wanted to be ready after all that mess, and not risk breaking a palette. But so this is not a criticism of that makeup artist. Lots of people use this line of makeup. I think Nikki Tutorials has also recommended She Glam, and the palettes looked so beautiful. Like they created such beautiful looks. She's used, I think, a few of the palettes a few times, and yeah, the packaging is gorgeous, and they're listed very decidedly. They're self-proclaimedly cruelty-free. Looking into it a little deeper so I could give you all just general information about the brand. The first thing I learned was that they're actually in a gray area in terms of their cruelty-free designation, which is like, what kind of brand would, well, I guess a lot of brands intentionally mislead consumers. But it's no surprise that they would when I found out. Guess what this brand actually is? She Glam. It's Sheen. It's like a cosmetic offshoot of it's like the cosmetic line of Sheen, which is very frustrating because I've stopped shopping at Sheen even in times when I didn't have a lot to spend and was looking for something very specific, so thrifting wasn't an option. This time last year for Halloween was like the first time I bought from Shein, and then learning more about that company, I've tried, even though like it's super tempting once you discover Shein and realize that like whatever you're looking for, they probably have some version of it and you can probably afford it. I've just really tried to step away from them, and I've been doing really well for the last like 5-6 months. It's been going well. So yeah, and I understand makeup, it doesn't have quite the same concerns in terms of, you know, garment workers. I think maybe there are still issues with the fabrication and workers' rights. There certainly are issues. I think I've seen people say that they, like so many of these massive companies and celebrity companies, these behemoth companies, steal their ideas from smaller businesses. So yeah, I had no idea. So I'm not frustrated with them. Like, they're going to do what they're going to do. I'm frustrated with myself on multiple levels. So I don't know if I'm going to return them, because that's also super wasteful. Like these companies, I'm sure you've seen like the Trash Walker, like all those Instagram accounts that reveal how much companies just, you know, throw away when you return things. So yeah, and they're beautiful. They're beautiful palettes. Yeah, I love Art Nouveau, and I love the, you know, the astrology theme. And they were super affordable. That said, there's a risk I'll never use them, you know, because I found so much of what I was looking for in this palette. And I'd love to be able to use just like vegan, cruelty-free products for this film. I really wish it could be like a 100% vegan, cruelty-free film. That's probably not going to be the case. I'm not really in control of that. It's not like, you know, all my money and I get to make all the calls. There are lots of different people working together on it. And I expressed my preferences. I'm going to stop just showing you the same thing over and over, and I'm going to come over here to show you the palettes. Because, yeah, I guess, oh wait, I forgot the other thing. Well, I'll show you in a moment. So, yeah, I may never even use these, but maybe I'll keep them as potential gifts. Maybe I'll keep them in case I get, like, really good at doing my eye makeup. Through this process, because I don't know anything about using eyeshadow. I'm a liner and lashes girl, so yeah, I don't know what I'll do, but again, no one's fault but my own. And I was saying, yeah, I would love, you know, in the future when I have more control over production and I'm not part of a team of people in creative control to the extent that I am now. As great as that is, on the other hand, it would also be nice someday to have a vegan set, especially because it's just like, in this case, it's a 3-day shoot, so I don't feel quite so much like it's asking as much of people to just have the space be vegan. And well, I don't even want to tell people what to do, like in terms of what they can and can't have on set. It's more where the money for the project goes, if that makes sense. So it's kind of a murky area for me that I'm investing time and some of my money, like again, it's not all my money, but some of my money into this project, and that any of it would in theory go toward having animal products, you know, having meats or, you know, whatever on set. That's tough. So yeah, I don't want to tell people what to do when it's definitely not just my project. I'll just do this without further ado. See, similar colors. Like this also is a really good option, come to think of it. It is different than that other palette. And it has that glittery kind of olive green, but then it has like fewer blue greens and more neutral or even brown greens, cool greens. This is kind of a golden green, like this one's really brassy. So yeah, this one is, I guess it's the Virtuous Virgo palette. This one I did see on Beauty by Peaches, one of her tutorials. So yeah, it's complicated with the vegan question, and the same applies to makeup. Like, of course, I'd love if I had my druthers. You know, at this point, I have brands I really love supporting, like, you know, Tower 28. You see me buying a lot from, you know, like Rare Beauty, or what else? I buy like lots of Supergoop at this point. There's something else. Yeah, well, you know, you've seen a lot of what I buy. So, but finding specific colors, and then also keeping in mind that it's not just my money I'm spending. So not being able to be like, oh, this is something that I would love to keep after the shoot, so I'll get this. It's like, no, what can we get, you know, within our budget? So yeah, it's limiting and it's super stressful. We are what's known as a SAG micro budget project. Sorry, I didn't show you. So this color, this is why I bought this palette. Again, colors I have never worn on my eyes in my life. So it's interesting, like, I don't know what will become of these palettes after the fact, because they will be maybe used. And again, maybe I'll be like, wow, now I understand how to do my eye makeup in much more creative ways, but also like, how much green does a girl need? So we wanted the makeup artist, even if it ends up being me, you know, self-applied, we wanted to have lots of options. So yeah, it's all so stressful, and I'm learning a lot, but there's a phrase, maybe it's just in Los Angeles and other big production cities, you know, Atlanta, Vancouver, wherever. The term, I guess, it's more of a term, and the term is production widow, or, you know, production widower. Yeah, production widow. So this idea that if you are the spouse, oh, that's a really pretty color, isn't it? And this one kind of looks like the blue in that first palette I showed you. So this is Perceptive Pisces. Yeah, those kind of mossier blue greens that we saw in that Tinkerbell palette, I think. So maybe I can, yeah, choose between them. But yeah, the idea that if you are in a relationship, if you have a significant other working as a producer, or in production in general, perhaps, there's a time when they may as well be dead to you, because you just don't see them ever. And even if you see them, they're like zombies, you know. They're just not available. They have no capacity. My therapist was telling me one of her clients self-produced a film and her hair started falling out. It's just stressful too. Like, I'm not good with money, as you all know. Like, I'm figuring it out. I'm learning. I need to go retrieve this. There's so much paperwork on the floor to sort through. But yeah, so yeah, it's really nerve-wracking. I'm really stressed out all the time because, yeah, I'm not great with money, and I'm learning how to be more financially literate, and it's a really scary thing to be spending other people's money. Oh my God, it's scary. Okay, so as a last ditch, like just in case none of the other greens work out, or I guess this was, again, there was a shipping minimum, and again, wanting us to have as many options for like the budget, within the budget as possible. I got this jelly glitter. I don't think I'm going to open it up because I don't know what I'm going to do with these products yet. And I can just pop these back into their boxes. But yeah, this one I'd have to unwrap the cellophane. And I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But yeah, it's like a green kind of glittery. Could be a liner, could be a shadow. Like a little, it says jelly glitter, and it comes in a little pot, as far as I remember. Oh yeah, I didn't finish talking about the vegan question. So I did raise it to my fellow producers. I have 2 other people producing this with me. And yeah, it just felt like, you know, they're super empathetic, but like, if you're not vegan, then this probably sounds like a really unreasonable thing to even worry about. And I'm like, no, I don't want to tell other people like what to do. It's the money thing. And they're like, oh, well, like, we'll just say that none of your money went toward the non-vegan stuff. Like if you're only putting in a certain percentage of the money, then we'll just say none of that went toward our non-vegan purchases, which, you know, I guess makes sense. I don't know. Oh my gosh. It's an interesting question. I hate putting people out. Yeah, I never want to tell people what to do. And also, like, I'm like, is that vegan of me, though? You know what I mean? It's a gray area. Like the cruelty-free status of this flanging makeup. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think I just can't impose that on anyone who's already, like, people are already working for so little, because we're a SAG micro budget production. And yeah, I don't want to impose. So I just had to ponder for a while. I was like, is this like what is the vegan thing to do without being like, without tipping into like an unethical place in terms of a good work environment for other people who aren't vegan? So interesting, stressful questions. Again, this is the production stuff that I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can handle this responsibility. But I'm doing it. I'm trying. So this is me following the tutorial very closely in terms of like lash placement and the all over lid kind of gradient wing. I don't think it suits my eye shape. I think it's kind of cluttered and overly messy looking and just distracting. I think this one looks cleaner, and then we could use lots of foundation to read as like heavy makeup. This I feel could look heavy with lots of foundation and lots of blush as well, and eyebrows. Could look heavy without being like distracting around the eye. It's just a little cleaner, and there's some glitter. It's not the right lashes, and I think it could use more eyeliner going up into that wing. So yeah, but I just don't think I can do it. We've got the first few days of my short film. Yesterday was really rough, didn't go very well. Today went better. 3 different locations, lots of shots, and we got every shot as it's written in the script, and then we had to play around and get whatever else we could. It's a good day. Makeup stayed on. To be fair, I was wearing goggles, but still, the goggles, you know, water got in there. How good is this makeup artist? You can see very clearly where my goggles were, because I got in the pool with my friends and co-star, and that's a whole other story, but it was so fun. It was so cold and like miserable physically, but it was just so like fun, like full of passion. We just feel invigorated. You're having fun because you're doing something about which you have a lot of feelings, you know, for which you have a lot of energy. It's fun. I just say that's really there. And now I need to get back to cleaning because, oops, see, that's what I used to finish Windexing. But I hate when stuff like that shows up in videos. I feel very embarrassed. Don't look. So I need to finish cleaning because a makeup artist is coming over soon to do a makeup test. So yeah. Hello. Bye. Hi. I'm gonna pop a little filter on. Maybe I won't. It seems pretty. The lighting seems pretty nice. Maybe I will just for visual interest in a bit, but it's kind of nice to mix in a few clips without filters, I think. Because the whole point is variety, so no filter is a variation on a filter, right? So yeah, it's been a few months since I recorded the bulk of this video. 3, maybe 4 months. So obviously it took a lot longer to put it together than I thought I would. So I'm very excited to wrap up this video, free up some space on my phone, and move on to other edits, about which I'm very excited. I'm very excited about this video as well, so it's just exciting to be on the cusp of actually getting it out to you all. And I just wanted to say, because I know that some of the last few videos, I mean, it's hard for me to even remember at this point, but some of the last few videos that I uploaded, I know I talked to some extent about just having a hard time, feeling really just struggling, and I'd also mentioned just struggling with comments. And I wanted to say, I just wanted to be clear that I didn't step away because of like comments or anything like that. I didn't really step away at all. Like, I didn't mean to. No, some cars are passing. Hold on. You all are so sweet, and so just anticipating that that may have been what it looked like. Like, it may have seemed like a reaction, or like there's, you know, a correlation there. That's actually not what happened. I've been actually dealing with negative comments a little easier, a little more easily these days. I think when things are just so hard and everything everywhere, not just in my life, but everything everywhere feels so bad. I have to go into work soon, so I should probably wrap this up, or maybe I'll finish up later. But yeah, I think I was feeling okay. I've been feeling okay with comments I get. I still get comments. But honestly, it's been a long time. I think there have only been 2 in recent memory, 2 users that I've blocked. And not even because what they said was that bad. I think they were both on my Starbucks video. And like, one of them, I think both of them, it was just like they didn't agree with how I handled things. One of them even was like, I think you like took the wrong lesson from this, or I think you handled this incorrectly. And I actually agree with that. I think that was kind of like the point I was making the video. Like, I would not handle that situation the same. I don't remember exactly the words I said, but I remember that being how I felt. And my big takeaway was like, I did not handle that well. So that didn't bother me. I think that those 2 people, they both, though, did things that I've just kind of set rules for myself, like what I will block and what I won't, because I just want to know what those lines are for myself, and not feel like I need to delete any evidence of someone, like, you know, disliking me, or disagreeing with me, but just to have some boundaries when it gets really confusing on the internet, as it's bound to. So it's 8 hours later. I ended up taking some extra hours for work and just leaving a little bit ago, and I think I'll finish the video in that train of thought in the morning. But I stopped at Trader Joe's on the way home just for some emergency, like, scrounging, really easy food. Here's what I got. A couple of these very salty, like sodium-packed, but very easy, instant spicy ramens. I got 3 of these vegan spinach and cashew raviolis. I just need 1, maybe 2 if I'm very, very hungry when I'm by myself. But tonight my partner and I are going to split these, and 3 is a great number for when we just want to have like 3rds, 4ths, if we so please. Like, we don't have energy to make like a vegetable on the side or anything. So, big staple in our household, the Trader Joe's vegetable. Trader Joe's vegetable gyoza. Really, really tasty. And then I'll just keep recording while I fish around. I needed a hand sanitizer for my car. And then one more thing. the vegan cookies and cream, vanilla bean bonbons, coconut non-dairy frozen dessert, enrobed in a chocolatey coating. You get 6 in a box for $4. So you can literally sit at home eating bonbons. And there's Los Angeles. So yeah, pardon the 8-hour delay and now a further delay of the overnight. For you, it's just gonna be a matter of seconds, but I'm gonna go to sleep. I'll talk to you in the morning. Hi again, good morning. I'm actually sitting outside a salon. I'm about to get my hair cut because this is getting just a little out of control. I just want more of the body, more of the curl happening around my face and not like most of the way down my back. I have to like pick it up to show you where it ends. So I'm just gonna get a few inches off, get it shaped up. But yeah, I don't know, I forget what I was saying yesterday, but the general idea is I don't want you to think that it was something about my channel that was like driving me away. I have been having an easier time dealing with comments. I think the last comment that really got to me was the one I had expressed feelings of just like burnout and discouragement around. I think something I hear creators say is that like the comments that are hardest are not necessarily like the most overtly nasty ones. Like you come to expect that you're gonna consistently get rude comments and then every so often get some really nasty ones. But interestingly, the ones that really get to you sometimes are the ones that are more like digs at like your output, like the quality of the work you're doing, because most creators are kind of existing in a constant state of burnout. I mean, aren't we all? But like especially if they're still working other jobs while trying to build their accounts, their channels, you know, whatever. Their shop, whatever their venture is, still in the sowing their seeds stage. So oh, that's right. So I just wanted to say, like, yeah, there have only been like 2 comments in recent memory that I've blocked, and not even because I was like hurt by them or like disagreed. Really, I think they were both making valid points. I can't really remember, but I do remember that one of them I blocked because after making some like cogent points, they referred to me with like the B word, whether it was intended to be like violent in a gendered way or just like, you know, using it in a like, oh, you're complaining, you're moaning and groaning kind of way. I don't want that on my channel. You know, I don't want people to encounter that in my comments and for that to be an energy in the space. So I thought it was interesting because they made some fair points and then like needed to take it to that place. So I blocked that user, and then the other one I blocked was just because I could see that they were leaving comments across multiple videos. So when someone's on like a spree, it no longer feels about like feedback about the video. It feels like, you know, a little campaign. Like they already have a dislike of you and they're gonna keep looking for things to pick at. So yeah, usually you just save yourself the trouble. So yeah, those are just 2 lines that I've decided to draw in my comments. Like if you are leaving multiple negative comments at once, kind of like spamming negativity on my channel, or if you just cross a line in terms of the language you use and the energy you're kind of bringing into the space for everyone else. So, but yeah, those weren't even that bad. And I guess the point I'm making is that I didn't want you to think I'm avoiding my channel, because my positive experience of being on here with you all far outweighs all the negatives, you know, which is saying something, because the it feels like it's getting more toxic. But the pockets of good, the pockets that feel wholesome, sweet, encouraging, or even just constructive, like maybe challenging, but in a constructive way. Those are, in my opinion, as good as ever, and even more like beacons, even more of a special thing in light of how dark the dark seems to be getting, and how prevalent. So yeah, I missed you all, and I love you a lot, and I'm gonna head in for my haircut, and yeah, thanks for listening. So I just got out of my haircut. It's not obvious how much I got taken off because it's blown kind of straight, but I got 3 inches off the bottom, and my biggest takeaway was I'm so awkward during haircuts. I just made the worst small talk of my life. Anyway, so thank you all for watching this video, and I mean, can you imagine me making small talk, knowing what you know of me and how hard it is for me to like stay on subject, keep things light, keep things breezy. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. You know what? Now I remember something I wanted to say. The main takeaway from my time away, other than everything I've already discussed when it comes to burnout and, you know, that I have missed you all and it's not anything you did, it is possible to really love yourself, be in a good place with yourself, and also be so sick of the sound of your own voice. That may be a very surprising thing coming from someone like me who can talk and talk and talk. Just because I can, just because I do, like, doesn't mean I like listening to myself do it. I don't know how to explain it. It's true. As much as I can talk and talk and talk, I also really enjoy and have been enjoying saying nothing for like days at a time. Just nothing. It really does sometimes feel like the part of my brain that's talking is different from the part of my brain that's like listening to me talk, enduring the sound of me talking. Can't explain it, but it's true. I think what I would liken it to is the feeling, because I used to bite my nails, that feeling where it's not like it feels good to bite your nails. It does, it's gratifying, but it's almost making you more anxious. Like it's something you're doing because you're anxious, but doing it is increasing your anxiety. I'm actually really like coming into the fact that I'm a much more shy, introverted person than I've allowed myself to be, and that what people perceive as like chattiness, bubbliness in me is coming from a kind of ruminating, anxious place. So yeah, it's something I'm noticing, like from that haircut and from my time away from making videos. It's something I can try to put to good use with you all here and explore and try to work through some of that anxiety. But yeah, I think because I'm a people pleaser and because I can talk and put thoughts together pretty quickly, so it is something that can become kind of frantic or compulsive for me, and because I experience just right OCD, like a subtype of OCD around speech. Yeah, it can definitely, talking often makes me more anxious than not. So much of my experience of talking to others feels like going in circles or digging a hole deeper and deeper. So, yeah, I'd like to learn how to talk less. Not here. Don't worry. That's a funny thing to say on a Ramble channel. But you know, wherever I can afford to. And there are lots of places I could spare some words. In fact, there are a few times in the video when